Welcome back to the dirty little workshop, everyone. This is Kurt with Hewn Handmade, and today we're making a boring bar for cutting tobacco pipe chambers on a metal lathe. You can do this with a drill bit, but doing it with a boring bar can be faster and more flexible depending upon the pipe that you're making. Another benefit is you don't need a collection of drill bits all different sizes and shapes. One boring bar can make a tobacco chamber of almost infinite number of sizes. I mean, within reason. Generally, the shape of the tobacco chamber won't change too much, but you do have the flexibility to change it slightly depending on how you angle things and if you're good at etch-a-sketching the compound on your lathe. To make this, we're using this tool stock, which is 8mm square by 200mm long. Doesn't have to be that long, but this is what I have. 8mm is a good size, giving us a minimum chamber size of about 16mm or 5/8 of an inch, and we can go up to something ridiculously wide. I mean, well, ridiculous. I could go up to about an inch, I suppose, and that would be huge. I wouldn't. You could. To start off, I'll draw a couple curves on the tool to set the shape, and then I'll hog off most of the material in the big grinder and move to the small one for some accuracy. Most important is going to be the relief grind on this to prevent rubbing and burning of the wood. After the cutting edge removes the material, no part of the cutter can touch the wood, so you might have to grind this edge or this relief angle again after a test cut. If you don't remove enough, you'll know immediately, and then you take it back to the grinder, remove some off the bottom edge, and you should be good to go. After grinding, I'll use a couple silicon carbide stones to fine-tune the edge and flatten the top, and that only takes a hot second and makes the cutting edge really sharp. So enough talking, let's get at it. Of note here, guys, is this block of briar. This is your typical Ebushan shape. It's not really usable for pipes in its present condition. It's got cracks, it's warped, it's misshapen, it is not straight, and you know, it could be tuned up, but I happen to know that this block of briar from this particular supplier at this point in time was improperly cured and can't be used for production pipes. However, what it will allow us to do is test the cutter that we're making. And so what we'll do, once the cutter is complete, or I think it's complete, I'll make some test cuts, and if all goes well, what we'll have is a usable tobacco chamber and an otherwise unusable piece of briar. But the main goal of this piece of briar is to emulate what we're going to use in a production fashion. It's hard, it's dense, it could be used in making a pipe if it were not improperly cured. And once we're done with the cutter, once I think we're done with the cutter, we'll make a test cut, and this will tell us how close we are. Let's make a test cut. Now here you can leave that size as is, or back out the compound slightly and you can make it a little bit bigger. And I'd call that a stunning success. That looks good. Good to go.